This is Justin Amazon on Monday, December 17th, 2018. Pre-market today looked like it was going to stay up inside of these four. Well, not necessarily the four, but the bottom range here. And then it just blew through it and barely does an S curve. I mean, this is technically a retest, but then just breaks lower. And just another gap down, just like Friday was a gap down, barely clearing the support from the previous day. Today, we're nowhere near support. If we get back up here, I mean, short it. If we get back to this line, short it. I mean, I don't even remember where the next lines are at further down, but I mean, this is such a strong bearish move. I'm just expecting it to continue. So we'll see if we get anything that looks bullish to get in on at the open. And I'm just going to zoom in on this a little bit tighter here. So, and step into the day. Get a pretty large candle, much higher volume than Friday's open. And you get a little bit of buying down here. Obviously, there was some buying to get it up this high, and then it just collapsed, and then some buying to get it back up above 1560. But not strong enough, not even a bullish candle to get in on. And then this candle just continues lower, and then another one continuing lower. So that's our next line. All right, 1540, 45 cents. So had you just taken a breakdown here below and a stop up here, you're not even at 1R. So these candles are just too large to trade, too large for me to trade. I mean, some of you maybe, I don't know, but too large for me to trade. And quickly get into this line. And I mean, it doesn't have to bounce here. It's just the next line. The last time we interacted with some of these lines, we pivoted around or chopped around this one, broke down, kind of stayed in this area for just 15 minutes. I mean, hit it with the close of the candle, got the open of the next candle, and then retested back up to the line with the next one. So really, I'd say like a 10-minute interaction, and you'd have to go look at a smaller time frame to figure out if it actually made it up to 15. So I would anticipate here, if we do something similar to that, I mean, then this one we kind of interacted with a little bit, and then this one nothing at all. Didn't even pause there. So this is the next candle or the next line we're interacting with. Still a really strong bearish volume. The momentum continuing lower. I don't think it's going to continue lower, and it does. We don't really have an open or a close right on the line. This is 20 minutes of selling in a row. But, I mean, there were people buying at yesterday or at Friday's close. There were bulls in here thinking, oh, here's the place to bounce, And then hopefully some of them were stopped out here and weren't still holding to way down here getting out, because that's just really, really rough to be way, way down. I mean, we're almost another $100 down we are from up here. From the highs on Friday, we're $100 down. $100 down from a gap and a run lower. I mean, it's still Amazon, but that's really, really far. But I mean, it's still a really strong bearish move. That's how strong this is. It's just continuing lower. I think I was saying, look for a place to buy down in the 1400s, high 1400s, similar to how far we got down on what could potentially be a left shoulder, and this could potentially be a right shoulder, but we'll see if we get into something that looks like that. So it's kind of waiting to see what's going to happen there. Anyway, we're way down here. These two candles look really similar. Just one's still closing above, the other one's closing below. But those closes are pretty much even around this line. But it's just continuing lower. Now we come down. Here's the next line down at 1528, and this looks more like a hammer. It'd be nice if it was a bullish hammer, but this is the most buying we've had, the longest lower wick we've had yet. So not that one, not that one. This one was pretty good off of that line, but didn't work. This one's a little smaller. This is a really nice lower wick. The open and the high are the same, so it's a shaved top. So this candle opened. Everybody hopped on bearish. It sold down, it came back up, and it's got the most bulls getting in down here to get it back up. None of these other ones were shaved tops until you get back into pre-market. I think this one was. Yeah, this one was, but the volume on that was small. I mean, big if I were trading it, but I mean that's small. 4750 shares traded. On this one, the volume's kind of staying pretty steady through here, but this, either getting in above this because it's a shave top or getting in above this line, a stop down here. That's what I would consider to go counter trend. But because you're going counter trend, it's got to be quick. So, this is the first I'm mentioning buying off of one of these lines. I didn't even mention it here, just saying what could be our next target going down. Now I'm saying, hey, with the look of that candle and the location and this big move down, I mean, that's a potential area to bounce. I really like candles like that. So the next one triggers whether you're getting it above this one or above this one. It's a really nice Morningstar reversal right here. And your high is actually slightly above the high of this candle. This one is 1545. This one's 1545.47. So, I mean, had you been a little more conservative and waited to get above it, you're probably at like 1546 by 1525, something like that. So you got a $21 risk. You're doing it with shares, or you're on options way out of the money. And we can look at a call. It looks like that. So next candle pulls back right into the line. So here we are interacting with this line where we weren't doing that even here. We were just kind of bouncing around on it. Now we've actually come right into the line with a close right at 1540 and 86 cents. So a little bit above the line. Next one throws a wick down and then has a little bit of a rally off of it. But I still like, had you gotten in here or waited for a retest to get in there, I still like that we're staying above this. You've kind of got a little bit of a triangle forming here in a really smaller time frame. You'd have to go look at probably a 3-minute or a 2-minute to see what this really looks like, if there's really just some chopping around in here. But I would look for this to continue higher out of this. If we stay below the 5 exponential, I mean, we should just roll over here. This would be the S curve. So really, it depends on the next couple candles. If we can break out or if we break down, that's going to determine what we'll do probably for the next half hour to an hour is my guess. Just because we've spent a little more than that going down, it'd be nice if it consolidates a little bit and then breaks out in the next like 20 minutes, breaks out or breaks down in the next 20 minutes and goes for an hour in that direction. So let's see what happens next. Got a really, really nice breakout. We're continuing back up. We're getting above some of these candles. We had a nice low 2 cents off of our line. So, I mean, we really held this line for 1, 2, 3 candles and bounced really nicely off of it. That's a really strong signal there. You really had to be buying in here or down here to take advantage of this, and then you're up, and if you've got any way down here or on this retest, you're probably up almost 2 hours already, and less if you're if you got in later. And some people were probably wicked in here and had a stop down here. You should still be in as well. And because it's kind of trend, you can be moving your stop up and then looking for a target at open, at the high of the day, or back up at this line. Any of those would work. Even this candle, because it's pretty large. It's kind of got the size similar to this one. So getting out right here had 1562. I mean, that's just a little bit ahead, but I mean, you gotta take those when they're going counter trend. So get an indecision candle, really small candle right on the 21. We're losing that bullish momentum. We're not quite up to the place that I said, get out up here. And so we just kind of wait, see what happens. Nice sideways candle. Let's see, the high and the high. These are 3 cents off each other. So it's slightly higher high, but essentially this is a little bit of a flag here. Will it continue? Yes, it continues. And it hit your target if your target was here. It looks like it hit your target if your target was the high of the day. That's really cool. But what's really interesting about the high of the day is that's a really good place to to short it. I mean, that was your kind of support here. That makes sense that it sold off from there. You're right back into that point. So, I mean, get your stop tightened up if you're still in it. Get your stop really close up here because your counter trend will look for the next exit to get out at 1578.25. Next candle pulls back and probably hit some of those stops. If you had a stop a little more conservative here, you're probably still up. Just hang tight. You don't have to move yet, but you're probably going to be stopped out with that kind of candle. It looks like it opened pretty even, maybe a slight gap down, and then closed below this low. And this low, let's see, the low and the close were, no, sorry, the low and the open were shaved. And on this one, the low and the close were shaved. So these are both shaved bottom candles, one bullish, one bearish. So everyone bought on this one and everybody was still selling on this one. Someone's going to be right, someone's going to be wrong. So let's see what the next candle says. Okay, now you're stopped out if you were in here. If you had gone short up here, I mean, you're probably coming back down to 15.40 and 45 cents. That's the next target. But no, we got a bullish engulfing. We're on our way back up. This is just getting choppy in here. And then similar to this, it just pulls back. It's inside this time. And I kind of like that you got some higher highs and even highs and higher lows. We'll see if that can get back up to 1570 over here and kind of hold that high and then either break out or roll over. Nice small candle again, started to bounce. There you go. Back up into 1570. Okay, second time right back up here. It's like, should you short it? Is now the time to short it? That'd be really cool to short right there and to go bearish. It moves up a little bit higher, almost gets up into our line. If you had been shorting here, hopefully your stop is up here. If you're still in bullish, we're almost there. Get your stop really tight up here. If you're still in bullish, way to go. Because I mean, you had a couple lows in here that just kind of stopped in the middle of this candle, and really we're playing off of the high of this one. So we're almost there. Again, it's two candles really small like this. The last time that happened, we broke out, got a little higher, and this time go another one sideways, and we start to kind of roll a little bit. So I don't know if it's going to roll down, roll over, not get there, or if it's going to bounce off the 5 and continue on up. Moves up a little bit, sideways. Okay, this one looks like it's breaking down. Yep. So it looks like there was, it looked like it was a bit of a flag here. Started to show it was going to go down, retested with an inverted hammer, and then rolled over kind of slowly sideways and then broke bearish. So we'll see what the options are doing through here. There's got to be some good options to get into with these three prices being about the same on the stock. We'll see what these got to if there's any similarities in here to short. Because I like when you have these line up on the option or on the shares and really get a good move out of that. So right now you got a bigger kind of triangle here that just is collapsing. This is a double top. We could get a retest to a neckline, probably like 1567, and then a roll over if it retests. If it doesn't retest, oh, there we go. Another move back up. That's a great place to get in bearish. This same line here, it looked like it broke out, then rolled down. It also looks like you got higher lows and relative highs, except for this little bump up right here. So it's a really good consolidation overall. I'm still thinking more bearish on this because you've had some, this looks like a false breakout. It's collapsed. It's really a double top with your neckline where these candles were. I mean, it's a really flat double top up here, but I mean, this is a retest. It's got to be a retest. If this breaks out, I mean, from that small candle, it really could. This candle being similar to this candle. It looks nice, but I mean, we had 3 candles here, 4 here. We've already got 3 here. I mean, we could get another bullish candle, but I mean, it'd be great to rally out of this and start that shoulder, but there's so much bearishness in here. We couldn't even get back up into this price, into our 1578.25 price. We couldn't do it at all today. We couldn't do it here. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4, no, probably 3. We'll see what this one does. Comes up, throws an upper wick. I like the high wick candle there. Oh, there you go. Another pair of candles that, not tweezers exactly, but just another bullish bearish that, you know, the bull's trying to get up a little bit more. 4th bullish candle in a row. That's the most we've had each time today. And then from there, it starts to roll down. So even though we've been doing higher lows and we've been doing kind of relative highs, I'm calling relative. I know this one's a lower high. Actually, you could probably connect some dots with this. Let's see what we can do. I'd have to go back and draw the whole day, but yeah, that's interesting. Let's see if we could have done that without where we're at now. Maybe off the high. So if I do that high, that point to that point, it looks like it should continue to this point. And then if we bring this back over, so I mean, we're getting into it a little bit with the wicks here. And then this looks like it's right on it and could go, but nope. Nice downtrend. We're in the downtrend. Looking for that to continue to roll over. That's a nice bullish candle. Great location to then have kind of a false breakout and end with, is that another shaved bottom? Another shaved bottom. Okay, another shaved bottom candle. And then this one really triggering that. And then the last one is this to get below that low and for this to just collapse. This looks like a really wonky shoulder with a really angled neckline. Really much more I'm seeing, you know, kind of flat top, uptrend here. And it's just got a really nice triangle shape to it. And there you go. Gone. Broke down. Oh, it'd be great if it retested back up to this line. Let's say 1557. Get in bearish there if it gets up there. Oh, nope, not going to do it. Doesn't get there. The high is 1554.45. So hopefully you're in on this candle. If not, you got a chance here, but that didn't quite get back up to this wick. And now we're at this line again. Look at that. This is definitely an S curve. So this huge bearish move, this is a S curve with a funny shape to it. You know, if you drew kind of a traditional neckline cutting across, I mean, it kind of did that. This low just didn't get low enough. So this totally looks like a head and shoulders. This low just didn't come back down to the traditional neckline of at 1553 or 1552, like this retested. So really nice retest here and then just continuation. And it should break. There it goes. It's breaking. So we're back down here. We've failed this line now, which we didn't really do. Bounce nicely there. We bounced nicely there. Now it looked like we were bouncing here, broke through, retested from below, and really small candle. This is a great place to go bearish. And it's, yeah, set your sights on something lower. What's our next line? 15. I don't remember our next line. Let's see if we get down any lower. Oh, that's really nice. Leave this consolidation in here. Relative lows, still this downtrending slope here. Hopefully you're just still in the trade. Breaks down, new low of the day, retests here. I'm okay with it going sideways a little bit if it touches the 21 and then collapses. It's already after one. Oh, look at that. It got close. Got close to that upper wick. This is a lot of chop, though. This is like almost an hour of just being choppy and not being too directional. I mean, this was directional, and now it's just being choppy. So, I mean, our next line was somewhere down here. 1507, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay. Continue on. So really nice triangle here, really nice consolidation. If we can break down from that, then set your target, whatever the next one is. But I mean, we're chopping around on this, right on this as our price point. So each one of these has touched it except this one. We got into it back here, a really nice consolidation level here. And we'll just have to wait and see which way it's going to go. Touching 21 and starts to roll over again. What time is it? It's only 2:20. Wow. Okay. Squeeze formed. That fired on this candle, making a new low. There's people who are getting in short here. Our next line is at 15.14. That's right. Okay. So we're almost to that line. That's a good target. I mean, if you're in way up here, just, know what you're doing. Get your stop in the right place. Get your target in the right place. And hopefully you're out somewhere down here. There you go. Wow, look at that move. That's an amazing day today. These levels. Okay, let's take a look. This candle broke down. That's your next chance to get in. I don't even know what option to look at. Like, it's a Monday. The hardest part of this is it's a Monday. So you got 5 days till expiration, including today. And you've got a ton of premium baked into the options that aren't being driven to zero yet. But I mean, so which put, you can look at the 1500 and see if that one works, especially way up here. That's still 70 points away. That seems reasonable. So looking at the 1500 put, this was the initial open we got. This high wave candle, it rallied, it came back, it got right into the low on the option, just like it got right into the high on the stock. And then you could have bought right there. You could have been buying that low, buying at a low of 14, do 14 by 13, and just wait and see. And then that moved up to 18 easily. That's 5R on just that. And then it came down again, put a little bit of a lower, that bump below or above the shares, went a little bit lower on the option. This price here, really right around $12. The whole range that it got a high on Friday. And so not only did it do that once, it came down to 12. You could have done 12 by 11 here with some small candles. Even this retest touched 12. And then here's a bigger retest. Again, could have done 12 by 11 and filled anywhere in here, 1150, 1170, something like that. And then that just ran. You got that neckline retest of the double top here, kind of funny looking head and shoulders that did have this retest to that price. Not quite there, so this one would have been harder to trade. And then, I mean, I don't even know if this is where it made that same price on the stock, I think, is this one. Which time is this? This is at 105. Yeah, 105. So it made a new low on the day, but on the options, it didn't quite get that high. And so there should have probably been some people who were getting out in here because, you're almost to that level on the stock, just not there on the option. And if you wait for it on the option, you're going to lose some and maybe not get into the right place. But then it did end up making a new high of the day in the option because stock made a new low. So specifically, let's look at, let's see, 11, because that's right at this price. That's right at these. So let's look at 11 to see what the 11 o'clock. This one? No, it's this one. So the range on this was $80. The range on this was $95. Both of these you could have just set up with a trade trigger above, stop below, done. Go away, go do something. And that would have just worked so well. I mean, had you been able to buy it on here, let's say you bought 1250 by 1150. Let's say that worked. 1250. I mean, it went up to 3250. That's 20R on that setup, which rolled over at the same place that it just retested here and didn't quite get above and stay above here. I mean, this is the only candle that got above this price, right? above the high, above, yeah, this range. This upper wick looks pretty similar to this one. I think this one's slightly higher. But this was the most bullish it got, is getting this high, and then it just collapsed after that. Just couldn't stay bullish. So some great opportunities to buy here, really small candles. Even setting up with a triggered here and or a retest here or something. I mean, those things could have worked. So, and just shorting it off the high of the day worked. Not that you knew this was the high day. So doing that here worked. Doing that here probably worked. Let's see, what time is this one? That's 10:05. So 10:05 is right here. So this is when I was taking out these lows, but it was coming right into the pricing here. And yeah, it just bounced. Couldn't do anything about it. So pretty crazy. For calls, there were some opportunities to get into some calls with some of these smaller candles. So start with the hammer at 850, and then some of these smaller ones, 950, 1050. Let's look at those. 850, 950, 1050. 850 is here. Okay, so that was a shaved top, but yeah, you could have done like 6x5. That would have worked. 6x5 up to $8. That would have worked. That's on the 1650 call. And then if you did something similar here, getting in above that 650, 550, 650, ran up to 850. That's another 2R. And then getting in this small candle at 1050 or 1045, make a little stretch. 650 by 550. This one got up to 8, but didn't get any higher. So probably got a loss on this one. So up 2R, up 2R, down 1R. That's 3R of the day. Just looking at the calls, the bullish moves, and you're up. And then as you see this rally up here, here's your double top. Here it is. And then when we make this similar low, there's some people who are getting in here. Some people are retesting. And, flip that over to a put and look at what was going on there in the put. We're getting the same kind of flag. We just don't get quite as far. But on the put, we get there. Just a crazy move today. So you can zoom out a little bit. Oops, I'm going to zoom out the option. It's about here. Yeah, we've been going down for a while. This is, if you include this, 1, 2, 3 solid days down. Look at the daily. 1, 2, 3. We are just above this price. You know what? This is what I would love to see tomorrow. Like this candle did, like this candle did. If this candle can do it too, a gap down to anywhere, gap down, preferably below the previous day's low. You can gap down here into, see, the low is 1505.01. The gap's down and then trades back up, and fades. That'd be really good. We've got 5 bearish candles in a row. It can definitely keep going. Much stronger volume here. We've actually gapped down and triggered in. We technically triggered this low on Friday, but now we've actually opened, gotten in, confirmed. If you're waiting for that confirmation, this starts to look more like a double top. That could be it. It really could just keep on going. It doesn't have to stop. So we'll keep a close eye on this every day, seeing if we get into one of these lines down here, and then that means things have changed. That means it's not just inverted head and shoulders and it's going to get really bullish really soon. It means this is more of a channel. This is more of what looked like accumulation, and instead of breaking up, it's going to break down. And then if it can get below this low, it just doesn't mean it's very bullish right now. Already it's been not so bullish. It's been bearish. I whisper saying that because it's like, don't tell Amazon it's looking bearish, but it's getting there, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. See what happens tomorrow. If it can gap down, get ready to fade it. And just be careful of how much risk, So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Just Amazon. Thanks.